סימן Kufches, we're learning about the החטין, the wheat, and the flour for matzahs. And we're up to seed base.
אתה יצא לקניות?
יצאתי. יצאתי.
זה בלי.
In Sif Aleph, he stressed the importance that there's two types of shmura. There's a shmura b'shas kesida, and there's a shmura b'shas techina. And the hiddur is to get shmura b'shas kesida, and at least for the for mitzvahs matzah, to have shmura b'shas kesida. Now he says, well, I explained this already while we were talking last week, but now he goes into detail. Chitim shenimtzu behem mevukois oy mutzumachos. In other words, if you pick up a handful of kernels and you look into the kernels and you see that the kernels are little pieces are growing out from them, or you see that they're not sealed, they're beginning to crack open. So he says, Hasham mutter, it doesn't right away
Parcel
everything. You should look through it, you know. That there should be at least 60 times good ones.
The Zirkins, when they used to bake in their house, the matzahs, they used to go away early before Pesach, and they used to put everything on the table, and they used every single one. They used to check like this.
The Zirkins had a special operation. They had what they called the Rechaim Shoyad. Let me just explain a little bit. Normally, I don't know if anyone remembers or anyone sees. Years ago, Schoenberg Goldstein made a video about the matzah baking.
Yeah, I think I was.
Yeah. So this may be maybe 60 years ago, but I was curious also. I wanted to see what it was. So at that time, here in Crown Heights, there lived a Yid who was known as the Nerola Rav. You may not know the Nerola Rav, but he had a son, Beres Shapiro. Beres Shapiro was an Edom by the Kozlova. In other words, where free is now, there was a Kozlova Rebbe over there. It had a very big library. Beres Shapiro went in Lubavitch Yeshiva some period of time. Then he went to Belz, and he was the Edom of the Kozlova, and the son of the Nerola Rav. Today he calls himself Nerola Rav. And as you saw by Belz, he's this the right Mondo, Nerola Rav. It was a good chavim, my Beres Shapiro. So that year, they went to a place upstate New York. When you go to the mountains, so usually you get off, I think, at 16, this Harriman. If you keep going past 16, if I remember correctly, it's 18, there's a place called New Paltz. In New Paltz is Dortmund given a mill. Well, what was the mile of the mill in New Paltz? The mile of the mill in New Paltz was that it was a water mill. It worked by water. So maybe electricity produces heat, and this didn't produce heat.
Oh.
So today they don't have it anymore. I don't know where they go now, but that's where they went. And then there was a house over there with, let's say, a few stories. Okay, on the top story there was bags of kernels, and the kernels come through a shaft. You pour it in, and it comes down, and little bit it gets ground a few times. So they had to, first of all, they had to clean out every every stone from whatever was there before. And finally, when it came down all the way to the bottom, it went to, I think, maybe 10 strain. But before that, in the picture, in the video, the picture of Shiakov was shown jumping into the kernels with his shoes and looking over the kernels to see if they're not mitzamachim or muvukayim. But that's how it worked that time.
This is all in Goldstein's video?
It's all in Goldstein's video.
You have to go check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, it's all in Goldstein's video. With a mama's jumping into
Had to
a
get
pile
him-
of kernels.
had to get him out.
Yeah, and with his shoes on.
He was a young man then.
Yeah. Okay, so
Cloudy rates was.
now the excuse me. Now the Zirkins do what's called rechaim shayad. In other words, other places you have to grind the kernels. This place was special that is a water mill, which I don't think they have today. Water mill, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. But other places had a regular mill, a regular mill that would grind. By Zirkin, they would grind all the mills by hand.
By hand.
They had
Instead of a bike.
they had a hand machine, and first of all, they would lay out the kernels on the table,
Right.
look them over,
Right.
see that they're all complete, and then later they'd put them into the
A regular grinder like that could
and
grind.
they stand with a
milk?
grinder like this and grind it, and the flour would come out. Now when they make the flour, there's two types of flour. There's what's called whole wheat flour, or in Yiddish I think they call it razever. There's whole wheat flour and the regular flour. The whole wheat flour is darker because the whole wheat flour has part of the shell also in it.
And how did they remove the shells for the other one?
It goes through such a fine sifter that it can't get through that one.
Oh, that's what happened.
And the other one doesn't go through such a fine sifter. Mizak, I'm not into health food, but mizak that the whole food is healthier because that has the wheat germ in it. Today in the store, if you go to the store, you could buy wheat germ. What's wheat germ? It's a byproduct that's taken out of the wheat. They separate the wheat. The wheat is just stop wheat, and they take out the good stuff from it. So that's. I remember I once asked Dr. Zelickson, in Europe, how come people didn't have all the sicknesses that they have today? He said, because damals haben wir gegessen ein Stück Brot, ist gewöhnt gesund. He says, today it's Papier.
Chemical.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law says in Russia it was only sourdough.
Only
Sourdough, yeah.
Ja, ja.
Aber sie da was immer Debate mit wie der Araber, mit Klaptos, mit der Kapper, nur ein so.
That's because they don't have a mill.
Huh?
That's because they don't have a mill.
Yeah.
But the grinder doesn't make it hot when they're grinding. It doesn't get hot.
And it's a very difficult thing. There's mices. I think in the Kuti de Burim, there was a chassid by the Rebbe Rashab. This Plotkin that lives here in Crown Heights. His father gave him Avram Elia Plotkin.
Yeah.
The Rebbe Rashab told the Friedrich Rebbe to Moshe him, Zeh Shal Mitzvah, that it should move him. He was a big Talmud Chacham.
Meise mit einer Rolle Rob, der Montem. Ich hab gekneit beim Sadever. Ich hatte Sadever.
Sadever, ja.
Ich hab jung gekneit. Einmal kommt er zu mir und sagt mir, als der Roller Rob kommt zum Backen und allein von Purim grandet mit der Klingrand und allein zeigt die Weiz und hat ein paar Leute kommen dort 16 Mamere, sie kommen 16 Matzes. Trupps. Und ich soll sein Bekerper. Aber sagt mir, als alle Jahre ist gefährlich. Was das heißt. Sagt mir, als die Kneters kommen zu gehen, Er gebringt die Säckel mit die Mehl. Und der Kneter hat genommen dort ein Gem reingelegt in Mehl. Und da geht die Wasser, genommen reingegossen die Wasser. Jetzt so, mein Ramusga, sie ist andere Mehl. Sie ist nicht als Din, sie ist andere. Man darf wissen, die Wasser soll teilen. Man darf mehr Wasser, weil sie nimmt rein. Was ist denn? Und der Kneter, er hat gehabt, öfter eine Matze oder 2 hat mir geraten. Und ich sage, okay, gut, hast du mir gesagt. Ich sage, okay, kommt der Wasser, wait. Aber ich habe gewusst, dass ich dachte, mehr Wasser. So ich mit dem Wasser, gieß noch ein bisschen allein. Und ich gebe rausgenommen, schöne Meere. Kommen zu mir, hat mir herumgenommen, sagt er, alle Jungen, kein ist geahnt, 16 Matzes, sagt er. Der einmal, der erste Mal, bis ich 16 Matzes. Sagt er, alle Mal, das schon
Aber der Melvin hat allein gemahlen.
Was, er hat allein gemahlen? Er hat allein gemahlen.
That's why it was so fine.
Ich hat ihn genommen mit Keuches, mit dem. In der Zeit auch was rausgekommen, hat mir gegeben als ein Tipp. Dem sagt er, du weißt, was das ist.
Du lebst noch auf Vienna Geld, für Vienna Tipp, lebst du noch
100%.
Ameda means
Amara, yeah.
like a loaf.
Yeah.
A loaf.
Yeah.
Ich habe ein echter Meister mit Mehl, aber das ist eigentlich länger.
So he says it here. והתחילו יש להלו לברה גם מן החיתם שאוכו מהם ארבורם אוי שיהיה שישם כנגדם mice like flour, and so you have to check those flour which the mice ate from them to see around it if there's no residues. והחיתם שבו בספינו שהיו מנוחס בביירס, from the time that they cut down and they make the flour, they're laying in storages. Im heim yeveshes v'koshes v'nishtan mareim. If there was no change, because if it changed, if it looks different, that means that water got into it. Im heim menochas balia. If they're laying in an attic, v'yodu laying v'shon derech agag. Mixes become bixas become is asuras, because that place where they drip from the roof is also. Avo im nofalem tzas sheleg, oiksas mayim b'mokem echad, misalag oisam sheyesh ustapek behem, v'ashar mutaris. Incidentally, you know, I don't know if you pay attention, but in the matzah bakery over here by Tanama, maybe everyone. He has a cat there, and the cat is for the mice, that the mice shouldn't
From the mice.
But
get
today, Mastama, they put it into like containers. You can't even get into it.
I don't know.
Ik ken de omstand met jou. Alle het door mais. Moest je door meel, door mais.
Yeah.
Staat er dan.
Today you make a thick plastic, and you put it in, you close it.
Aber interessant, eben de Wasser, musst du da ruf. Auf dem Meer, eben muss schmutzige Wasser. Von eben muss gelegen dem Mehl.
Darf man abnehmen, die Melk?
Nicht reine Wasser.
Die Melk.
Das ist am meisten.
Incidentally, there's an expression in the Gemara, when the Gemara wants to describe a miser, a kamsen, was getting Geld mit. So the expression is, Achbri de Shachri Adinri. A mice was licked up dinarim. So what's the pshat? Achbri de what's the pshat? He said, because a mouse could sleep in 3 ways. A mouse could sleep on flour. It's very geschmack.
Yeah.
Keeps nibbling away. He could sleep on wheat. So the wheat is hard, but he could chew away. And he could sleep on the norim. So not only can he eat anything, but it's also, it hurts him from all sides. That's the achwa, the shach, he doesn't even enjoy his own money.
Ich hab ein Stubel benötigt, ich hab zu tun, aber ich handle ein bisschen mit dem Mais. Dann sehr smart. Wir sind sehr
You gotta talk to our mayor.
He's looking for the raptor. He never
busy with the
found one.
mice.
He never found one yet.
Kvan Nagu Yisrael L'dagdek B'hechsha Harechaim. Now he's talking about the mill, the place where you grind it. Ulanakais B'chol Shari V'kisim Loichim Chadashim. That's sacks, bags. U'b'mokum sheyesh Talmidei Chachamim Heima Hochem El Harechaim Lashgiach. You take a mashgiach. That's why he took the Marol Rov. That have a mashgiach b'shas the Harechaim. Shehei Hechshe Karoi. U'b'mokum sheyesh Talmidei Chachamim Ro L'chol Yirei Shemayim Sheyeu Be'atzmaim Lashgiach El Hechshe, which doesn't happen today. The mitzvah yes Meshucha. V'noyim ki hakemach harishon shenimcha v'acha hechsha. The first chawa oichen oisei b'Pesach. Ein oichen oisei b'Pesach. Because maybe something was left in from the old.
Last year.
Im teichen b'rechaim gam tvua l'susa. The tvua l'susa means wet tvua. Tzrichen l'hafsek b'mechitza sheyis'avu b'ay min ha'avak hahu. In other words, it shouldn't fly. The dust shouldn't fly. Sak shel kemach sheneslachak b'mayim. A sack of flour that got wet with water. Imu b'mokum echad ben shu adayin lach ben shenes yabesh. Yoiches as a mokum ahu b'yodai, grab it. V'yorik hashar mutter, and throw it out in the rest of mutter. Rak im nislachacha also. V'im nislacha become mekaymes she'ef shel asar kain, azai im adayin hu rach yiraked es hakemach. He should sift the oil. Umasha nisha alanapa perunim. In other words, when the flour becomes chametz, so it begins to harden up. It's cake. It begins to cake. So he's saying, put it on a sifter, and it's not going to go through. The hard pieces will remain on top, and the good pieces will go down. V'cheinim ochel achborim min hakemach, izochi yirakdenu, aber im kvar nisyabesh, v'mahani v'harkava. Because it's gonna go through. It's gonna. We call a kemach also. The yom shetochnos a kemach also a person. In that day that when you made the flour, you don't bake the same day because it has a certain heat in it from friction. Mipnei she'oz a kemach hu cham u'mamayir hachmas k'shenosim by esamayim. Again, Yisha Achat China L'Chalapochos Meisleis should wait at least a day. That's not a problem today. This is more a problem like an Azerkin operation where you...
Anyway, well, here it said that the Alter Rebbe writes you should wait 2 days.
2 days, okay.
It says, because of the Chila Shnei Yama. If you can't wait, then you make it more.
A second, the sacks, Shemanicham Mehem HaSakemach, Taiv L'Asaisim Chadoshim. Oil v'chol ha'pochos ha'hater es ha'tfilas, u'chabes heitev heitev, b'chamim, u'be'efer, u'b'shivshav, v'chavita, means to open them up, open all the seams, and
put in a good washing machine.
Of course, we use new. Also, a niyah im kemach agav behema, elam kein yesh erd over tachtav. If it has a saddle, because the back of the behemoth is warm,
yeah.
so the back of the behemoth will warm up the flour. If it has the saddle, it's no problem. Ve'im loikein yischamen v'yisracher min hazeya. Ve'im efsher yizor gam shaloim v'niach ha b'saken zeh al zeh mipnei she'al yedei zeh mischamen v'yachmas b'risha. One sack will, I don't know how they pack it over there, but some of them have a few on a shelf.
There's a mashgiach that watches the truck that they don't pack up. There's a mashgiach that watches the truck when they bring the flour that they don't pack it up.
They surely stack them.
So he says it's like
It's only when it's a gabe behemoth or all the time.
no, you shouldn't stack them.
Yeah, it says,
He means for someone to store it.
Okay, so
but they have to store them high.
Store
otherwise
it.
they'll
If
go
you bring
wrong.
it on a truck, just to deliver it is one thing, but to store it, shouldn't buy them a lot of one on top of another. Okay.